Hey, how's it going out there? This is Two Birds, One Show on the BGSE network. I'm DeeTer. That's Ricky. And our
Yep.
guest tonight, Greg. How y'all doing?
Chilling.
Good.
So if you're new to the show, we talk sports and craft beer. We'll go over our first drink, hit up some sports, and then jump into our second drink, and then hit up some more sports. So anybody want to start off?
Guest always goes first. What you got, Greg?
Doing the unfiltered strawberry.
Nice. Is that the down east?
Yep, down east.
Nice. And for my money, best brewers of ciders that I've ever had.
And where are they out of, Greg?
Oh gosh, I forget where they're out of. Hey Rick, do you remember where they're at? Where they're from?
Boston.
Boston. Okay.
Boston.
Yeah. Oh, by the way,
beer, Boston. So I imagine the cider's got to be pretty damn good too.
Right.
So,
by the way, we just got kegs of the apple cider donut cider in, two kegs of that, and 2 kegs of the pumpkin cider. 2 of my best sellers every year.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
But,
apple cider. I mean the donut one is.
Oh, dude, it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
I'm going with a new trail to start off because I cracked this earlier, but I've had it before on here, and it's such a great beer.
Nice.
Boat Dock, and this is a 9.6. It's a beautiful beer, and I'll tell you what, man, for $17 a 4-pack, you are not beating it. That is a damn good beer for $17 a 4-pack. Yep. So here you go. Nice little color. I'm already halfway through it. Yeah, sorry guys. I started early.
Sorry. I had a Pilsner you gave me earlier before we came on from Human Robot.
Nice. What'd you think of that, man?
I thought it was really good. I'm not a big Pilsner guy, but
I know.
You know, I liked it. I thought it was nice. And, Pilsners are what they're just easy drinking.
Yeah. Yeah, the 2 beers that the Human Robot I got from Al, yeah, they're good for what they are, but it's not my style. You know what I mean? Like I'm not a big Pilsner guy, and the other one I think was was some kind of English pale ale or something like that, I think. But it wasn't my style. What'd you think of the Black Stacks I gave you?
One of them was good, and one of them was horrendous. One of them I had to dump. It was so bad. I was like,
it was an IPL. So
it was a cold IPA, and that's no shot at you or anybody else. I appreciate you hooking me up with the beer. I'm just being honest. I couldn't. It was, but the Lady Luck, that was really good.
Yeah, I actually liked the IPL. I drank it. Jeff, those guys, they liked it because it was more a dialed back IPA. It was kind of more like a lager. And I was like, all right, this ain't too bad, but I know what you're saying. It wasn't my style. And I will say this, the shipment of Black Stack I got from Scott, there wasn't no like high hitters. I didn't have anything over 8%, which is very strange for Black Stack. But the beers I got were pretty good, though.
Well, and no insult to you. I mean, I appreciate you hooking me up with those 2 beers. I was just being honest. I'll be honest.
I appreciate it.
I had a brewery. I had a brewery bring me a beer in the other day to want to bring in, and it was so bad I had to dump it. It was a 32-ounce growler, and I had to talk to my rep, and he said, "What'd you think?" I'm like, "Dude, I got to be honest with you. I had to dump it."
We are a beer review podcast, brother.
Yeah,
like we get a lot of good beers, and it's hard to be that way. But I mean, yeah, man, you can't drink everything, and like the ones you like are the ones you like, and it's.
Right.
It makes us a little snobby, I guess.
Well, I was just going to say, me and you have gotten some of the best beers in the world. So, and I'm not saying this. I'm saying this humbly. We've been to the mountaintop. We know what the best beer. And I say that humbly. We paid our dues to get there, but we've drank the best beers in the world.
I sent Scott out Treehouse, other half, Trillium, awesome box. And he gave me Black Stack back, and I'm so happy I got the Black Stack. Even 8% or IPL, cool. You know what I mean? I like trying their stuff. I would never be able to get their stuff without Scott. So, shout out to good Scott. Stuff, right? And that's we trade all the time. That's just one box. And I'll get better stuff, I'm sure.
Yeah, and like I said, I appreciate you hooking me up with the beer. I just one of them was good, one of them wasn't. 50% ain't bad. In the major leagues, you're hitting 50%, you're in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
I'm drinking
buddy?
Tonight. I got Biden's Lilac.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Wow. Fiden's, dude. Yeah, look at that. Yeah,
I mean, she's a beaut.
Yeah, Fiden's is just
great nose, tropical.
Code, man. I don't know. They can't make bad beer. They're phenomenal. So good.
It is really good. Definitely getting some peach and pineapple in there, maybe some papaya. A little bit of must. I don't know if there's some Nelson in there, but maybe on the back end.
There's any reason why it's named Lilac? I
think they do a whole series of different plant and flower names. Just like Treehouse does. They did series like Tornado and Hurricane and stuff like that. Yeah. I think they just find stuff where
names. You know what I mean? Yeah. Right. All right.
So, and I think I was reading a tidbit on it. I think this was Socratic questioning number 10 when they originally brewed it, and had a mistake in the brewing process and had to dump the whole batch.
Oh, wow.
So they remade it, and I guess in honor of somebody that works at their brewery or a parent or something, had to do the lilac was an important flower to them. So that's why they named it. That's a little blurb I read about. So I think maybe each flower or plant in that series has to do with one of the brewery workers, something that, they hold dear.
Well, I like Hill Farmstead. They named their beers after their different family members and stuff. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But, we drink beer, talk about that, and talk about some sports. Anybody want to dive into some sports?
I definitely do. All right. I don't know if I'm I don't want to bury the lead, but I think everybody, what we're thinking right now is not everybody. I'm going to pray because get ready. There's going to be a Rick rant on this one. I told Greg, I think I seen you. I actually told Peyton tonight. Shout out to Peyton, one of the big Phillies fans. Yes. Are the Phillies?
Are we diving into deep end already? We're going into the Phillies already. Okay.
Yes. All right. Because are they slumping? Yes. Yeah. Is it baseball? Is it normal for every team every year? Yes. And I'm hearing these Philadelphia fans, these bipolar fans, are already jumping off the these will be the same fans when they're rolling high again after in 2-3 weeks and then heading the playoffs rolling high. I stuck by them all season. I was always even in the slump. Yeah, okay. Because I'm reading all you online. I'm listening. Everybody's already burying this fucking and some people with the nerve to bury Harper. Because he's a 1 for 21 slump. This guy just won Player of the Month in May and June for all of baseball.
You seeing this comment?
Guys are going to bury this guy? Come on.
1 second. I got a comment here. How about them Yankees? Jesus. Let this guy on here.
Go Red Sox.
But yeah, back to Harper and the Phillies, man. It's just a slump. And it's going to pick back
what
up.
It is.
It happens all the time.
This is baseball.
Really, I just want to be back to where it was earlier this year. Where everybody's just on point.
It happens all the time. I mean, sometimes you get a slump, and I'd rather happen now. And then going into September, what's it? Red October, and we get fired up, man. That's what's going to happen.
Listen, get it out of your system now instead of October. Because guess what? I'm going to tell you this. Not only in baseball, but in life, I've noticed you don't get better and you don't get stronger like as a person or as a team when shit's going easy. Sometimes you run this turbulence and shit gets hard, and that's when you find out about yourself and you find out about the team you are. And you know what I noticed about this team, even through all the struggles? Nobody's backbiting. Nobody's throwing anybody under the bus. That's a sign of a real team. These guys, they're not going to collapse. Everybody's like, whoa, the Eagles collapse. Listen, each thing is its own thing. And I noticed nobody's backbiting. Nobody's throwing nobody under the bus. They're supporting each other. Right. There's a strong team.
Yeah, God, we were killing it in the beginning of the season. So there's no need to jump off the bus right now. And
10-14 in July, and they still are only one game out of the best record in baseball. So everybody pump the brakes.
Well, and for us to hit our bad time, it's now. You know what I mean? It's
before now.
It's before the trade deadline, so we can maybe get some trades in and find out your weakness and adapt.
year they
You know what I mean?
You know,
what's that,
Greg?
They got pieces in. They made some adjustments. You know,
they did.
Right.
I like the moves they made.
They weren't sitting on their thumbs. You know.
No. And look at it this way. Everybody, me included, said they need some bullpen help. They went and got the best either him or the kid from Florida. You got the best arm in the bullpen. Listen, Carlos Estevez is a shutdown legit closer. He's the real deal. This guy is legit. That was a great move. And you got Tanner Banks, a good lefty from the White Sox. He's going to mix in well. And you got Austin Hayes, the guy from the Orioles who, nothing against Marsh or Rojas, but you guys don't hit left-handed pitching ever. But Austin Hayes does. And he hit a huge home run, almost hit a game-winning home run. I think he's going to be a great addition to this team. So I like the moves Dombrowski made.
Yeah, I'm not upset about any of the moves they made. But I've liked. I mean, honestly, Jazz Chisholm. I
didn't want no parts of that dude.
I don't think no. He's just
he'll get hurt. You know why? You know what his MO is? He gets hurt a lot, and he will. He had a good series against the Phillies. By the way, they should have plunked his ass after all that mohawing around the bases after a home run. Dude, run the bases, dude.
Yeah.
I just want to say real quick, anybody out there watching, feel free to let us know what you're drinking tonight, and feel free to comment on any sports topic that we're talking about. But yeah, continue, Craig. My bad.
So yeah, the pitching, it is what it is at this point. They got the arms, to go and help them out. They addressed a little bit of the concerns. So right now, I think they're like you guys were all saying, it's just a slump. They'll eventually get out of it. They're notorious for slumping.
How do you guys feel about Real Muto being back? Feel like he's pretty healthy, doing well. I mean, it looks all right.
He's just coming back off the injury. It's going to take time to get back into the groove. That's and listen, Bryce Harper put it best, and he's right. And he said, this is when the superstars need to step up, and he's right. And he's one of them, including himself. Him, Trey Turner, JT Realmuto. I mean, right now, you need the Schwarber. This is when you guys need to be carrying the team, and they will. And I think they will. And by the way, the 08 Phillies, who won the championship that year, they went 10-14 in the month of June that year, and went on to win. The '93 Phillies that everybody loves went through and went to the World Series. They went 4-13 at one point in that season. I mean, this is baseball. Yeah, this is what it is.
Right. And I'm pretty used to this. You know what I mean? It happens, dude. And we pick it up we pick it up right before the playoffs, and that's what you want. Yeah,
as long as they get hot going in October, I'm happy.
Right. I hope they carry it through to the playoffs this year.
What makes me feel good is the fact that we're still standings wise. All right, so we're second place in the
MLB. You're one game behind Cleveland.
Right.
One game
behind
Cleveland.
Right.
It's really when you think
and
about
really.
It's not
the whole thing is like you said, get hot when October's starting. That's the main key. I really don't care how many wins you have. I don't really care where you finish in the division. We didn't win the division last 2 years and did pretty well. So just get hot when October gets here. Be healthy and get hot. Listen, you're getting the injuries out of the way now. You're getting the slumps out of the way now. Get hot when October comes.
Yeah, 65 and 43 is nothing to sneeze at. That's pretty damn good, dude.
You got to admit they're still kind of I guess for the most part they're kind of I see a little bit of hope, but not very much. It's just a lot of frustration, I think. But the fact that they're acknowledging it, and they're they were saying Bryce Harper not hustling out the single and all that. I'm like, dude, just relax.
Yeah, I got it, and I heard that same thing too. Let me ask you something. I don't know if any Phillies fans are on. There's a guy coming off a pulled hamstring, right?
Yeah.
I understand you want to run a little faster, but I'd also rather have him healthy in October.
Right, man.
I don't want him pulling another hammy because he's trying to beat out a play at first, not meaningless, but a play there was nobody on third. Listen, I'm not worried about that. Bryce Harper, if anybody in the city gives their all and gets it, is Bryce Harper. He's the last guy. Hey, Philly fans, pick somebody else. All right, knock this stupid stuff off. Pick don't. That's like let me go bury Jason Kelsey for missing a block. Like guys, Philly fans, relax.
You see Jason Kelsey in the Olympics wearing the beret?
I did with the beret.
I missed that.
That's my spirit animal,
God,
man.
Dude.
That's my spirit animal.
Hilarious, dude. And he was on tonight on the game or whatever. They were showing like, the people are gonna be on Monday night, whatever. And he's got the beret on. He's got like all these like little I guess pins on his beret and such. But that dude's just a fucking great guy.
He's a cool cat, man. He's a cool cat. I don't look up to many people, but I look up to that dude. That dude is cool as ice, Oh
man, so I'm jumping on my second beer here because I started a little early. It happens. So double Citra Daydream by Other Half.
Nice.
Yeah, man, this thing's.
Sorry, I'm jamming out the little Twisted Sister right now.
No worries.
Do you guys hear the music in the background?
Nah.
Okay.
You
I
guys
didn't want to get any copyright infringements.
You guys hear the fan in my background? Because okay, cool. That's awesome.
On my site, Rick's Beer Adventures, I got a couple cease and desist notice for playing people's music. Yeah, on a couple of them. Yeah,
that's funny. I told you, dude.
You did tell me.
Yeah, I only make sure like the network approves whatever we do, man. I'm like, hey, man, you guys come up with it. That's fine, man. Like, they know what they're doing. Make
sure you guys couldn't hear that music.
That's funny. Yeah, yeah, right.
Like three times.
Well, I told you that like we got the network got banned for like a week or so for some fight.
Something that Stoggs did, right?
Right. It was too violent.
Leave it up to the Cowboys fans to mess something up. They do. That's their MO, and they will always be like that.
They put up like a little clip of a boxing fight, and then YouTube said it was too violent or some weird stuff, dude. I was like, oh god, man.
Speaking of which, and I don't know if we should talk about it on this show. Did anybody, the boxing match I'm talking about?
Yeah, man. No, let's talk about that. The
young lady that wanted to fight in the men's league, and I get it. I don't like seeing women get hit. And it should have never happened. Whoever allowed that to happen, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. You don't put women in the fight men in a boxing match. It's not cool. You
want to do whatever you want to do, your body, cool. I don't care. But you don't have a fucking guy fighting a girl, man.
Yeah, I don't like to see women getting hit and men hitting women. I don't like it at all. And I was very disappointed the Olympics allowed it. I know. And I'm very disappointed the Olympics allowed it.
The girl was like crying, saying she never even got hit that hard before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you can see the dude's arms like are huge, man.
It's going to be putting women to fight men. It's not fair. And like I said, women shouldn't get hit by men. It's messed up, and I don't like it. And the Olympic Committee should be ashamed for allowing it to happen. Just my Rick rant. That's all. I mean,
there's got to be some fucking regulations, dude. I'm sorry, man. You just can't be like, hey, man, I had this change and I want to be an Olympic boxer. I mean, come on, man. That's just fucked up, dude. It's I don't know how to say it, but it's fucked up. And I'm glad that your internet is showing it that, like, hey, man, this is really one-sided. You know what I mean?
I really wish they wouldn't allow it to happen. Like I said, women shouldn't be getting hit in men in any walk of life on this planet at all, ever. And for them to allow that to happen, I'm disappointed.
I'm glad we're talking about this, man, because that pissed me off so bad.
Yeah, me too. Should never happen.
Off to be in the Olympics, and then you're going to get fucking knocked out or broke a nose by a fucking dude. Get the hell out of here, man. That's so fucked up.
I'm very disappointed.
Sorry for cursing.
You're a little reckless with your talk, but it's okay. We'll get over your cuss words.
Have you been paying any attention to the Olympics for the most part, other than
I have. I actually, for the most part, I've been really liking it. Remember we were all in there? But what was the handball? It's like soccer.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Also, got to say, women's pro beach volleyball.
Oh,
it should have its own channel like the NFL Network does.
Yeah, man.
It's fascinating sport. The basketball's been good. I know we're going to talk about probably Embiid not playing in the game against Sudan yesterday, but he's starting tomorrow against Puerto Rico. Steve Kerr said he wasn't in trouble. Tatum sat the game before that. It's just he's like, I have so much talent on his team. There's going to be games that guys don't play. And you know what? Good. I don't want Embiid overdoing it. Be healthy for the Sixers.
Not only that, I mean, we're also the general consensus has been like they go and do different lineups and they figure out who, and then what come down to like towards the end of the tournament, they're putting out their best lineups to be able to go and like dominate other teams.
Yeah. Well, I found it funny was that he's getting booed at the basketball games because he didn't play for France. And I guess he's from Cameroon, right?
Cameroon,
right?
It was French territory,
right? But he's never even been in France. He said he never went there. So I mean, what the hell are they booing about? You know what I mean?
You know what? So and I haven't cursed much this episode. If you go back and look, I'm going to say this.
Pretty good.
Fuck you,
I broke the seal.
Fuck you, France, because you guys are a bunch of fucking cowards anyway. Embiid don't owe you guys anything. He don't owe you guys anything. And you know what? His son wanted him to play for the U.S. because his son was born here. Awesome. So France, shut up before America bitch slaps you. You know what I mean? Knock that shit off. You ain't got nothing on us.
I will say the opening for France, the Olympics was pretty cool. I like the boats and the torch carry and all. I thought they did a really good job. And it's really neat that where the beach volleyball is. You have the Eiffel Tower there and all. I think visual wise, it's really neat. I really like what they've
been doing. Beautiful city.
Yeah. So
going for my second beer.
Yeah, let me just hop on this guy.
Nice.
So double citrus daydream, and I don't think I've really had this, or if I did, it's very rare because I always get the mosaic double dream. You know what I mean? But Citra, this guy's packed with Citra, man. It's a nice looking beer, beautiful head. But man, that is like cat piss in a can, dude. That is like Citra so much, dude.
Shout out to Sue. She always says that. Smells like cat piss, but in a good way.
See, I love Mosaic Double Daydream. I think that's a fucking great beer by them. But this Citra, man, way too much Citra, dude. Holy God.
That's fun.
Oh man, what you got with? What you got there, Ricky?
Oh
man, some Fidens, double dry hop kings. Oh, so you put your beers upside down?
Always. My IPAs.
This is a smart guy. See, like I know Tony does that too, my boss. So this way you don't have that sludge at the bottom. When you flip it up, you have to mix it.
It releases all the flavors. Like I don't do that with like lagers and stuff like that, but with IPAs,
dude, that's so smart. I gotta start doing that. Yeah, I heard that before, and I was just like, it can't make much sense, but yeah, it does. When you pour your beer at the end of it, you always get that sludge. If you flip it upside down, at least you have a nice little mixture before you pour it.
You know, at the bar, a few of the kegs we get delivered, when they deliver them, we'll store them upside down. So, and you know what's funny is a lot of the down east kegs they'll do that because there's so much. I don't know whether it be yeast, sediment or puree or whatever they're using.
Yeah.
Huh. So I'm going to join you on my second beer. I'm going to go with other half, and I'm going to go with triple dry hopped Citra Vibes.
Wow.
I think it's like a brand new beer. My buddy went up there recently. Shout out to my buddy Ant.
Now, is that the Philly brewery? It has to be if it's from Ant, right?
Not the Ant,
okay.
It ain't that Ant, no.
Right.
No, my other buddy Ant. I think it was. I didn't ask him.
Because Because they
Probably
did a pretty good job, man.
I know it's not bought off the store shelf.
Okay.
So it's either Brooklyn or Philly.
Because Al's uncle, he goes there, the one in Philly, a lot. And the beers that I had from him, man, were like really damn good.
Yeah. Way better than what you'll get off the shelf.
Right.
Whoa. I'll tell you what. Yeah. Listen, man.
Yeah, if you're new to the show, we like to drink some beers.
Yes,
That's how I get this Olympian's body that I have.
Look at that. Ant's here. Oh, hey, how's it going, Ant?
What's up,
Did
Ant?
you get that stool from Uno's? You say you're going to grab the stool when you were leaving?
Did he take it?
He said he was.
I wish he would have, kid. That would have been a great story.
Right.
But Uno's, so sad to see them go, man.
That is sad.
I love that place. That place was like my home away from home, man. I would always be there just about every week or every other week. But yeah, it's sad.
Great spot.
Up in its place.
Well, they were going to do.
You said it's going to be some pub.
Yeah, they were going to do like they had it in Maple Shade. Was it Tony Roney, something like that. So the guys that managed the Uno's at Defford have the same one at Maple Shade. They closed that down and turned it into another like franchise that I think they made or have a part into it. And they were going to do that again at the Defford Uno. But what happened was there was a conflict with the hotel there because it's actually the property is owned by the hotel and the liquor license.
No way.
Yeah. So they had a problem with the rent and they wanted too high of a rent for them to change it.
Wait a minute.
So,
I know I'm a big conspiracy theorist, but has anybody noticed around here that's happening all? You know that really good sandwich shop in Glassboro, Peters and Sons?
yeah, they just closed down.
Same thing.
What?
New York company came. Papa's Pizza right over there near Edge Fitness in Township.
I never
Cross
went
Keys
there.
Road. Same thing.
Yeah.
Shot in the right. Dude, it's like they're coming in to shut down. Something's going on, guys. I'm telling you, I got watch closely. Something's going on.
It's called inflation.
Nah, you know what? It's but listen, you watch closely. Something's happening. We'll talk about this again in a year. Something's going on. Something's going on.
Well, inflation's high as hell, so you're gonna people want more rent. I mean that's what it is.
Yeah, but DeeTer, the thing is, they're shutting these places down. You know what they have planned to open that Papa's Pizza? Nothing. You know what they're opening at Peters and Sons? Nothing. They're buying property for somewhere, and they're not reopening anything. Now, maybe with that Uno they will. I don't know. But watch, I bet you it sits dormant for like a fucking year.
Well,
because
I can tell you what they're probably doing is they're probably trying to buy up a lot of property, let it go, let it deteriorate, and then have everybody else sell off, and then buy. You sacrifice a little bit, and then you money.
And then buy
here's
the
what's
stuff
going on
around
with
it.
Here's what's
Like
going on with the Defford Unos. So the only reason a hotel has a liquor license is because that's like some part of a regulation that if you have a hotel or whatever, you can have a liquor license. Some reason, somehow, that liquor license is tied to that hotel. All right, because you go to most hotels, there's always some foodery or something around it, right?
Yeah.
So this is that. So there's going to be something there, man. They can't give that liquor license to somebody else. It has to stay with that hotel.
Well, you would never give a liquor license. Them things are selling for like millions of dollars in the Defford area. You never give that away.
Doesn't matter how much they want to charge for rent. They're not renewing the rent. They want the place back. Oh, the hotel wants a place.
Listen, I'm not saying it's aliens, but just throwing it out there.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah. Well, cheers, guys. Yeah. Ooh. God, get political and all sorts of
aliens,
transgender topics, aliens. Golly,
and nothing wrong with that, people. God bless you. But my thing is, I just didn't want to see a woman getting hit by a man. That was my big thing. I don't ever think that's okay, ever.
Can't we all just
listen? I was raised by my mom. I got two sisters. Fuck that shit. Women shouldn't be getting hit by men ever. I don't care, whatever. That's not my point.
So back to the Phillies, we're going against the Mariners. That's the next series.
Yeah,
So,
and by the way, are fighting for their lives right now. It's going to be a tough series.
are they?
Listen, you're starting a 10-game road trip, but DeeTer, you know what I was saying? And shout out to Peyton. I said this to her earlier. This might be just what the doctor ordered for the Phillies. Get away from Philly. Get away from this miserable media and all the pressure, and go out west and just go be loose and just go play. You know what I mean? And yeah, it's a 10-game road trip. It's against, not the toughest opponents in the world, but all opponents are tough. This might be a good thing. They might see them come back 6-4 on this road trip, and that's 2 games over 500. That's picking up 2 games. You come back refreshed.
Hey, I'll be happy if they take 2 series wins.
I'd be happy if they win 500. To be honest, we go 5-5 and come back home.
Now, Greg, I see you wearing that Arsenal shirt.
Oh,
did you go to the
bring
game?
it up.
No,
Did you go to the game last night?
No, I didn't.
No,
the final score.
My God, dude, how'd you not, dude?
I just couldn't. I couldn't do it right now.
So expensive, probably.
The tickets are way expensive.
70,000 fans there yesterday for that.
Yeah, it was 125 when my buddy Jeff looked at the tickets.
Yeah,
which isn't too crazy, but it is high. My buddy Lee Carmichael, he went to it, and my buddy Ken from Seattle, he had tickets for it. I'm not sure if he went. He's in the Jersey area this weekend, but it looked like a fucking good. Looked like a good time, man. Like
crowds were it was like that. That was almost like an Eagles game in there with the noise, Now,
that's got to be a pretty good game, man. Liverpool's a good team. Arsenal's a great team.
Arsenal had they were playing a pretty big mix of young players. Because it's preseason right now. So,
it's preseason, right?
More or less, like it's a 50-50 squad. I mean, the goalie that they were using, he was like 21 years old. I think guys like 6'6". Gosh, I can't remember. But anyway,
but it's the only way you would see these teams unless you went to England, right? I mean, how often do they play in the U.S.?
If you're on TV, they play the games over the course of the weekends, but in person, in
person is what I'm saying.
What's that?
I said in person going to the game. This is the only opportunity, pretty much, unless you went to England, right? I mean,
it would have been exactly for this team, for my team. But right now, there's a lot of moves being made. I think Chelsea made a couple signings. I forget who they are off the top of my head. They're actually, I think they're going to be a little bit more up there in the standings. I think they were I think they were 6. They could be top 4 this year. If things fall right, injuries.
Who's that?
Chelsea.
You think so?
Yeah.
Because they haven't been doing crap.
Well,
I pretty much stopped watching them for a little bit, man, because it was so bad the past couple of years.
Yeah,
once they said Pulisic to what's it, Milan or Italy or whatever, man, I was just like,
Milan,
what are you guys doing? I mean, that's like the captain of the U.S. team, and you're like shipping him off like he's nothing, dude. I was pretty fed up with that.
Well, I mean, you got to understand that's just how the nature of the sport is. It's not like American sports. I mean, they're a little bit more cutthroat, believe it or not. Different circumstances and all that. But say this whole thing with the preseason. I mean, they're playing kids that are like 16 years old on the squad. In fact, there's 2 kids on Arsenal that are like 16, 17 years old that are playing up against some of the best players in the world right now.
Well, who was that kid? That kid that they Union played, he was like 14 or 15?
Getting regular time from what I understand.
That's why I wear the Union shirts. I remember they're doing pretty good now, man. They got the last 3 game wins. It'd be nice to watch them, but I would have to have Apple TV and the MLS pass. Yeah. So I mean, I'm not doing that, but I try to like keep up with them on the news and such.
Well, the thing is, one of the odd things I'm kind of like wondering about is the fact that I heard that he's been up for all 3 games. So I don't know if it's just like a catalyst or like just luck or something like that. But I don't know if he's.
He's supposed to be really good, man. Just like the Flyers getting at what's it, Mitchkov. This guy for the Union is like already contract out pretty much to Man City, and Man City is like one of the best premier soccer teams there is.
Did you guys happen to see that interaction between him and Bryce Harper the other day in the Phillies locker room? And Bryce Harper brought that up.
No, I didn't.
He's like, yeah, it's just a matter of time before you're over there playing in Man City. Is that right? Yeah, I might have posted it in Rick Rants. Yeah.
Oh man,
like they brought him to the Phillies game to meet Bryce Harper, and Bryce is really cool. And they're shaking hands, and they're talking soccer, and Bryce is like, "You're already basically a Man City guy, aren't you?" And he kind of like shrugged it off. He's like, "Well, yeah." Bryce must follow soccer too.
Sullivan's his name or something like that,
like Caven Sullivan or something like that.
Calvin Sullivan, I think. Right?
I think it's Caven. I don't know. Doesn't his cousin play on the team too?
I think his brother does. I think his brother plays on the team.
Yeah,
and I know like their parents were professional soccer players.
Yeah, well, they were both athletes, right?
Yeah,
like really crazy. Athletes.
I think his. I don't remember about the dad, but I think the mother was definitely a soccer player.
Really?
Yeah. I don't remember if he was. I think I want to say
that's what they said on the news when I heard about like this happening. They said both the parents were professional athletes.
That part of
that shit runs in bloodlines, man. You see that a lot.
Right.
That's why I've always been a fan of in the NFL draft guys that come from bloodlines. It's not just a made up thing; it's a real thing. I mean, trace it back. So many the bloodline, especially like NFL players, probably other sports too. I mean, it follows along that bloodline.
You have to have that mentality. Like, hey, I'm going to work out.
To give you that mentality is huge.
But I'm going to work out every day. This is my life. This is my family. Is important. But you know what I mean. Like, you got to put working out and being in this sport like you're number one, pretty much, because these guys travel all around. They're not with their family. You know what I mean. It's got to be hard. And that's got to be a hard life to live. You know what I mean? So you have to have that mentality.
But when they're kids, they are. These kids aren't in the U.S. aren't leaving their families to go travel around, play sports. Jeremiah.
Right, but I'm saying growing up to see
up in his house.
Right. But seeing your parent, what they had to go through.
Right. Yeah.
You have to realize. You know what I mean? This is what the life I want. You know what I mean?
I only meant comparing it to like sometimes you'll see like you guys were talking about in Europe and England, these 15 and 16-year-old kids that are, on the road with the team like a grown up would be, you know what I mean? So yeah, I just meant over here, I think that, kind of seeing it every day and emulating it is a huge part of it happening in bloodlines.
Soccer is so much, man, because they have all these damn tournaments and stuff. Like it's not just I'm going to play in this league. No, man, they could contract you out. They put you wherever they feel
so what's
fit.
Up with soccer now? You said it's the preseason or the off season for soccer?
Yeah, it's
preseason,
off season. They're still making moves and stuff like that. In fact, Arsenal picked up a kid from Italy, I think it's 21 or 22-year-old center back, left back. Tall kid. He's really good at. They're comparing him right now to some of the great Italian defenders that came out. That can't remember who was it.
Can I ask you something? As somebody who's ignorant to the sport of soccer, so is Italy like known for really developing great defenders?
Yeah, there
was. What I mean? Like almost like like in certain sports, certain teams for whatever reason develop certain. Are the Italians really good for developing defenders?
They've I can't remember the name slipping my mind. It starts with a B, and like he was like one of the top, I'll say 5'10". Center backs to play, and they're kind of like comparing him like to that level And it's kind of like one of those pieces that are going to work well on our team. So I'm excited about that. They're bringing on some players. They have this thing where they have to go and in England you need to go and maintain a certain amount of roster spots for English players. So you can bring.
What do you mean with English players? Like they have to be born in Britain?
Yeah, they got to be like
British citizens.
Right? No shit, really? Is that like that for every country over there in that European league?
So, I believe so because they wouldn't.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, so you could have.
Imagine that if you wanted to be on the Eagles and say you had to be, 35% Philadelphian.
Yeah, like
wow.
Yeah. I want to see that Philly driver's license.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me hear you say the word water.
Yeah, right. Oh man, that's too funny, man.
Oh shit.
It's crazy. They're looking to offload like 3 academy players, like younger players that went through their academy system. Probably altogether they're going to get maybe about $75 million for these 3 guys. Somewhere around there.
Right. How does a soccer team like the European ones you're talking about, where it's real big, like how there's consistencies with players there? Like, do you have like how Brandon Graham's about to play his 15th season as an Eagle? Do you see that over there where guys stay with teams for a very long time, or they're very in and out?
There's definitely players that hang out on teams for a while.
Okay.
But again, this is like it's starting to become more like North American sports, where
I feel like
getting a little bit more upheaval in the roster.
I feel like the MLS is definitely like always like moving, trading.
Yeah.
You don't really see so many players that stay on the same team. Like I don't know, maybe that's just my perception, but it
soccer, they really want to, because it's there's a lot of cohesion that goes into into these teams.
Okay.
They try to maintain like a bigger core of players, because you're talking about 11 and 11, just like NFL football. So,
right.
Comparatively in the NFL, you got core players, but you're changing around the peripherals. That's kind of like how it works, but is like there's more turnover in the NFL than there is in just say soccer altogether.
Oh, really? So there's more continuity in a soccer player staying with his team longer than in the NFL? Really? No shit.
Especially if they're winning, you'll get.
So that leads into my other question. I want to ask you too, because you two both were talking about. You made a good point. It got me thinking. You were saying this young kid, and I don't know if I brought up to you last week, DeeTer. They came off and now Sunday Union are playing good. Is soccer the type of sports where like a jolt of life or energy or momentum to a team, can that carry a team in soccer?
So. Let's look at Miami, right? Once they
weren't they really bad before Messi got there?
Yeah, man, they were awful, and now they brought in Messi, and they're winning every game. Mm-hmm. So, does one person make a difference? I have to say Exhibit A, Miami.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, fair enough.
I mean, it's really, in that it's been proven a lot in soccer, where you bring up like an academy player, they come in, they're like 16, 17 years old, and they're just tearing it up. I mean, you got players like Wayne Rooney. I think Beckham, Ronaldo, Messi. I mean,
yeah,
they came in really young.
How old were they when they came up?
I think around 16, 17 also.
Okay.
Now, can I ask you something? Like, why do these guys come later back to MLS or go to MLS? Why? Like, it seems kind of strange, right? I mean, because Premier League's the top, right?
Yeah, well,
and these guys are in their prime, but then they're getting this big contract to MLS. Right? That kind of seems a little backwards, right?
No, and when you think about it like this, the MLS would be considered more minor league soccer compared to English or Premier League.
Oh yeah, it definitely is. Premier is way better.
Yeah,
than MLS.
They're getting paid. They might not be making the big bucks as they would be in England. They might take like just shits and giggles, say like 10 to 20% discount.
Okay, so the money is definitely lower when they go to
lower.
Okay.
So you mean to tell me they take less money to come to the MLS?
Oh, they're getting paid.
I know, but what I'm saying is Messi the highest paid player in the MLS?
He is, yes.
Was David Beckham when he came over?
Is this just like maybe to get like spotlight on them to make like movies or like doc? You know what I mean? Like, there's got to be some idea in their head that like, hey, I'm going to the U.S. for less money.
Is what it comes down to. So that's why these players are coming here, because they're getting brand exposure and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Cash cow. I mean, let's be honest here.
Yeah, I mean, commercials.
Knocking yourself.
Probably killing it.
Yeah, your brand. Excuse me, but that's
right. Beckham has his cologne, clothing, everything. I'm sure.
And
Messi's probably going to have the same thing, right? I mean.
Yeah, his jerseys are selling.
So basically what you're saying is they leave the big time to come here, make a little less money, but in the grand scheme, make a whole lot more money because of what happens when you get here?
Yeah.
All right, makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
All right, yeah.
Let me ask you something. Who's the next?
Happy you're on to explain these things to us, because I like soccer, but I have no clue about any of this.
Greg's my soccer dude. When he comes in, any question I have about soccer, I ask him because I have no idea. Let me ask something real quick. I just want to know, we were speaking of Messi and Beckham and all. Who's the next Messi that's going to come over here? Who's the next the Michael Jordan, / Allen Iverson to come over here? The great players. Is it going to be Ronaldo?
I don't think Ronaldo went out to Saudi Arabia.
And nobody got more money than him.
More money, man. That's Saudi Arabia's loaded.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be.
I want to keep. We don't probably have enough money over here to offer him.
Look what happened with golf, dude. They never thought they never thought that Saudi Arabia would have that much money.
Well, they got all the gas and oil money. I mean, that's the biggest thing in the planet.
Hilarious. They got the top players to come over and they gave them money. And then once the league came, they're like, all right, well, I guess we're going with the Saudi Arabia. Then they gave the other people a lot more money than the people that came first. It was they're so smart, so damn smart. You know what I mean?
Yikes!
Brutal, man. Yeah, money buys anything. You know what I'm saying? Whew.
Well, it goes to show that's the world we live in. Unfortunately, that's what it is. I'd like to think it wasn't, but it is right now, at least. Anywho.
That's why there's talent in different sports. They're trying to go and buy them, so that way they get more money. Kickback and long.
Let me ask you guys a deep question. What if they try that shit on our sports? Would you still be a fan of these teams, or would you say a big F you and give them the middle finger? Say some one of them Saudi teams kind of came in and said, "I'm buying the Phillies." And maybe you don't agree with what they are and how they do things. And it's well, do I still want to be a Phillies fan? Even though the PGA, maybe some people didn't want to support this league after they went
reality shows Bachelor, or what are you going to watch?
I'm asking you is, would you still be a fan of that team if they got bought out by?
I'm going to watch sports. Sports is my life.
That's not what I'm talking. I'm not saying sports. I'm keeping it right now provincial. What if one of them came in and bought one of our teams?
Oh,
would you still be
a thing?
No, I'm out.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. This guy loves sports, man. Yeah,
I do love sports, but I'm telling you, I got principalities,
watch, man.
Here's the one thing.
All right. Well, here's
it depends on how drunk I am.
Here is a good point. All right. So, Tiger Woods, you know what I mean? You're not going to watch golf because now they're a Saudi Arabia league or whatever.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Wait a minute. Hold on. First thing I want to say is I'm not prejudice to Saudi Arabia. I'm talking about that country buying our teams. I don't watch golf anyway, so I have no idea. I couldn't care less. I read the stories. I read the articles. I know what happened, but I don't care about golf. But I'm saying, what if it hit on the home front? What if they came in and bought our fucking teams?
Golf is a home front, man.
I would. Maybe you wouldn't, but I would.
Listen, the one thing I got to say is I don't trust the Saudis with shit.
I'm not going there. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
Here, dude, golf is like one of the most expensive sports there is. Like all the golf courses and such.
Play it.
Like, dude, they were so smart to go that route first.
Like,
here's
like,
remember I was telling
God, dude, are you kidding me? Like, it is what it's going to happen.
This is good discussion right here, though. This shit would air on HBO.
DeeTer.
It would. Best show in the country right now. Number one podcast. 175 million viewers tonight.
So you remember Man City? Man City's owned by Saudis. They have 115 charges about breaking some financial rules.
Yeah, I heard about that, right?
Want to screw around with, like, Saudis are bad for business. Like
I didn't say it. I didn't say it, but I'm not arguing with you either.
I'm just saying that's the one thing you just gotta watch out for your teams.
Listen, Greg. I hear what you're saying. I hear you, dude. I'm with you.
Dude, I'm so
listen. When something stinks like a skunk, it stinks for a reason.
Exactly.
My instinct, my spidey sense tells me, nah.
If the Eagles were sold to a Saudi company, I'd be worried.
I'm out. I'm out. I'm sorry, but I'm out.
I'd be
right. Well, I will say, like,
I'll go watch women's pro beach volleyball for 14 and a half hours a day.
I will say I don't watch, like, I didn't watch XFL. And I didn't watch UFL, right? Like, and I heard The Rock is getting, like, sued by the Army for like $6 million or something like that because he was supposed to promote Army recruiting in like his new like football league. Like nobody pretty much watched. I don't know.
Well, no, he was in the XFL and they combined with the USFL.
Right.
So now you got the thing going.
USFL. So the U.S. Army paid him $12 million to do 5 social media things and like kind of promote recruiting in the Army. He only did 2. So out of the 12 million, the Army wants like 6 million back.
I'll say this: if Rock didn't live up and do all his, give me the 6 million. I'll do Army promos. U.S. Army, you watching? My great grandfather's in the Army. I'll take the 6 million to do the promos.
Well, the Army saying like,
micro beer in that shit.
The Army saying that like that promoting Army recruiting kind of like pushed down the recruiting because nobody was watching it, man. It was brutal, dude.
Wow.
Brutal.
That's ugly.
Yeah, it is, man.
Yikes. Well, but you know what, though, DeeTer? Rock's got more money than any other fucking actor right now. That probably $12 million to him is like chump change.
Yeah.
He's like, he's like flipping a coin like Scrooge McDuck, like, here's your 12 mil. Bada boom, bada bing, out of there. Forget about it. Why don't you go fuck your mother? That's what the Rock's doing.
Doing a back swimming and spitting out like 6 million. Here you go.
Yeah. He's wiping his ass with 10s.
So this is my next beer.
Nice.
Speaking about money, stacks on stacks.
Oh, good planning, kid. This kid's got production skills. He knows how to be a producer. Man. Good lead in.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, stacks on stacks is so good, dude.
It's a great beer. I also grabbed the third beer. If you saw me get up and walk away, I didn't feel like doing what's in my fridge because I 420'd the shit out of this night.
It's kind of hard when you have guests and such. You know what I mean? Like I kind of like keep the vibe going and everything.
It's Root and Branch. Guilty of What? Batch 3 from 724. This is a phenomenal beer. This is really fucking good. I mean,
oh my god, dude,
Root and Branch kills it, especially if you get them early. Not all IPAs have age limits, and I'm not saying Root and Branch does, but Root and Branch is really good if you get them early on the batch. Okay. Really, really fucking good. So hey, that double dry hop King Sue, same thing. Some beers you gotta get early. Listen, some beers, IPAs even can age a little longer, and some don't. But Root and Branch, when you get it early, Man.
I feel like Top and Goliath is one that could sit for a little bit, man.
Well,
King Sue and Double King Sue. Oh my god,
this
dude.
King Sue, I'll tell you though, over the course of 1 month though, the taste did change. Now it's still a 5. You saw I drank 3 of them the other day. Still my favorite beer, but I definitely see the difference from now than a month ago. Definitely. Okay. Not that it's bad. It's still a 5 on Untappd. So I'm fucking tweezing hairs right there.
We got a comment here. Ant UAE owns the best cyclist, won on the Tour de France this year. Another citizen ride a bicycle.
Huh. Wow.
Good.
Well, I'll say this.
What's UAE? Is that the Saudi
bring
Arabia?
Lance Armstrong back. Cycling was fun when he's around. They're like he juiced. Yes, so did Mark McGuire. And baseball was fucking awesome when he was there.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just me. Whatever. Let him do it.
Lance Armstrong was.
We're already in the Mad Max movie.
Like I know, yeah, man. He was, beating the system and doing all sorts of bad things.
They all are. Dude, so was Mark McGuire. So was Ty Cobb.
Right.
So was
nobody was watching Tour de France now. You know what I mean? It was Lance Armstrong. Exactly. I was watching that every time, dude.
Good point, man. Let Lance back. Let him do his shit, dude. He's like the Lenny Dykstra of cycling.
Yeah.
Who's the last person to be a household name since him?
None. And none before him.
Oh, no, man.
Not in this house. And 98% of the country. Yeah. Listen, bring Lance back, dude.
Hilarious, dude. That's great.
This is a good beer. This is a nice beer.
So let's hop on some Olympics. So Team USA picked it up today. They got I think 4 or 5 gold medals, man.
Oh, talking about Simone Biles and the gymnastics crew. Wow, talk about watching some history, man. She's amazing, man. She's like the Michael Phelps of women's gymnastics.
Yeah, 27, man. Wow, they're killing it, dude.
Oh, what you talking about the U.S.?
She's 27, Simone Biles.
Oh, she's only 27?
Well, that's kind of old in the gymnast.
Well, I'm saying, man, isn't it like her third Olympic? No, it's got to be her second.
It's like her third, man.
Is it her third? I don't know. I have no idea. I'm not that well schooled on Olympic knowledge. She made history.
She's the best.
Like I said, she's like the Michael Phelps of women's gymnastics.
Yeah, she's the best U.S. gymnastics person.
Gymnast.
Gymnast.
It's easy for you to say, DeeTer.
Like yeah. But that's pretty impressive. And I'm glad that the whole team won, right? That was pretty neat. I feel like we're doing pretty good in the swimming competition.
Yeah.
And
that kid, did you see the kid from France that won the race the other day? That dude was like 9 swimmer lengths ahead of everyone. I'm like, holy shit, I think he broke Phelps's record.
He did. And you know where he trained at?
With Phelps?
USA.
Probably.
No, USA. Arizona State.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's the same thing like Embiid, though. There's like, he claimed France, but Embiid was kind of like, fuck you, man. I ain't never been to France. I'm Cameroonian. I live in the U.S. Right. France was never good to me.
Yeah.
I think that might have threw him off, too, in the game, man, having them boom, because he doesn't like that. You know what I mean?
Of course it does. I would be upset if I walked in my job and got booed. Kidding me? I'd be like, fuck you, you. You're cool. I'm out.
Right, man. Yeah, man.
And I would have dipped. I would have dipped. I'd have got in my car. I would have smoked the fat bowl, turned on the Easy Eagles Greatest Hits album, and just cruised.
Female fencing.
That's my answer to any hard situation.
Female fencing. We got like 2 golds off of that. We had a gold winning and a team gold medal off of that.
Did you see shout out? And I want to send a double shout out. My boy, one of my best friends in the world, my brother, Dom. I want to send a shout out to him because the Drexel alum of Justin Best, he won the gold medal in rowing. So, and my boy Dom's a Drexel alum, one of my best friends in the world. Love you, kid. And shout out to Justin Best for winning the gold in rowing, man. Philly representing.
Dude, yeah. You have the row house row, man. Like all the houses. Dude.
Boathouse row, yeah. I think our 4-boat team won a gold as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
God
Just
damn
had
it.
something land on me. Freaked out for a second. Sorry about
Nice, nice. That is podcast gold, sir. I'm so high right now. Probably been the coolest part of this whole podcast to me. I wish I would see it. What was it, Craig? Was it a grasshopper? Was it a moth? Was it a bat?
So we got Ant here. Ant likes to write like a whole book here. So
I can't even see it writing.
Amy Wang, best U.S. female table tennis.
Yes, from Seoul, New Jersey.
Is a coach, computer store across from the House of Brew. Nice.
Shout out to Amy Wang from Pittman, New Jersey. Seoul.
She lost to Puerto Rico. Thanks, Ant. Thanks for that.
Good looking out. Ant's good dude.
Yeah. Good job.
He was in the other day. Ant was, and shout out to Ant. Listen, I've known you for a very long time, kid. More than most on this podcast. He came in the other day, but I had to steer clear of him like 10 feet. He was like, yo, Rick, I'm coming in. My son just came home and he had COVID. I'm like, damn, dude, why are you here? Why are you here? I'm like, hey, much respect and love, kid, but why are you here? I don't want that shit. So he was like, I was like, tossing his beer. I'm like, Stan Malone, I'm winging it across corners and shit. Here's your beer. 9 feet away. Dude, don't bring that. I love you, kid, but don't bring this shit on it. I don't want it. I don't want that shit. People come in and be like, oh, I'm like, how you doing? Oh, I've been so sick. I'm like, well, thanks, asshole, for coming here. You know what I mean? Good looking out.
Bar etiquette. There you go. There it is. Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Totally get
you, man. Don't come in sick. Stay home and drink. We'll still be there in 4 days when you're better.
Yeah. Pick up a bottle or something.
Yeah, seriously.
Lock down the doors. Yeah. I mean,
get on the podcast. Drinking alone's fun when you got 3 of your buddies on the fucking podcast. Get her done at home. Nobody's catching COVID on a podcast.
Exactly.
Oh my God, hilarious, dude. That is so good. But yeah, a lot of US teams stepping it up, and
a lot of good stories and a lot of local people.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
We got 37 medals total, man.
Who leads total medals?
I think we do, man.
Oh, we do. I know it was Australia or us or China or Russia.
Let me see if I could. Oh yeah, man. Like, yeah, we're killing it, man.
Nice. Go America.
Well, dude, we had like 680 people go to the Olympics.
Did we really?
Yeah. And France, who's hosting it, only had like 637. Well, so we had like 40 more than
them, man. Assholes.
Yeah, France is second with 27 medals.
Damn,
that's pretty wild, dude.
And listen, France, I wanted to like you guys. I wanted to be on your side, and it's just like, man, you're over there booing Joel. Why you gonna boo Joel? What did he ever do to France? That you gotta hate him. This guy's the nicest guy in the world. You never hear him with any domestic violence or getting caught with drugs or anything. He's not in a shoot. The guy's a good dude, man. He wanted to play for the U.S. because his kid was born here. And you guys are gonna boo him? Like, F you, France.
It cracked me up.
New York fans, man.
They got these guys that are swimming for them in France. And then they're in the U.S. training in the U.S. because they want
to come to our party, drink my keg, and then go back and tell stories to your buddies across the block. You fucking pansies, knock it off.
Rickbeerman.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah,
I told you, Greg. I had a bunch of Rickbeerman set up.
We're going on a Rickbeerman.
You know, I called that song out at the bar the other day, sang it out loud. Yep. So put them DeeTer files on the intranet lock.
Oh, man.
It's going to be like the Howard Stern show. Like 15 years from now, we're going to be like, yo, remember that? Mm-hmm. So how do we feel during the good old days while you're in them? And we're in them, gentlemen.
Right.
So how do we feel about the U.S. basketball team? You think we're going to dominate?
I think they'll win it all. Yeah. I mean, they played Serbia the other day, who's one of the really better teams, and there was never a doubt. Yes, will they win the gold? Probably. Are they better than the 92 Dream Team? No, not even close. And nobody ever will be.
Oh, I heard like a team in the practice gave them a problem, that we're going to go against. It was some African team or something like that. Right?
We played them yesterday. Sudan. They gave us a good game last time we played them. We played them in the rematch yesterday, and we won by fucking 16.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah. And so shout out to my good friend Mikey Rozier, who was in there watching the game. I can't even make the comment he made. I will tell you in private. I almost said it on here, ladies and gentlemen. Good thing I did not. I'll tell you guys later. Bring that one up again.
Proud of you.
That was close. That was close.
Hear it later. Very nice. Very nice.
I will tell you all later. But it was a very fun comment. Greg, I think you were there for it. I think you heard the comment when Rozier was there watching Sudan versus U.S. Yesterday. Weren't you there? I think you were. I'll remind you of the comment, but I think you were there, and we were laughing our fucking asses off.
Matrix had one, right? The bull just went right by, right?
Yeah.
The Matrix? The Matrix. Listen, you are the Matrix.
Oh man, but I'm curious to watch more of the games. It seems like it's kind of off because France is they're our night and day. It's like an 8-hour difference, right, or something like.
I think so.
Somewhere
7,
6 or 7.
Okay,
6. So yeah,
because I want to watch the wrestling. I want to watch the
Greco-Roman wrestling out. Man. Didn't they take Greco-Roman wrestling out, which is the biggest travesty in Olympic sport history?
Did they?
I think they did. I was talking to my boy Len, the Baltimore Ravens fan, yesterday. He came in the same conversations came up, and I think they did. And we couldn't believe it because I think that was the original wrestling event. I think that wrestling originated from that.
Fucking handball. But not Greco-Roman wrestling.
I think they took it out. I know it's the original wrestling sport. Look it up. Look it up. Look it up.
There's gotta be wrestling or some form of it.
I hope there is. Let me know when it's coming on. But I think they took it out.
That's wild.
I know. After whatever it is, 4,000 years of Olympics, you're going to take wrestling out of all things.
I see there was
ballroom dancing out. Why are you taking wrestling out?
Yeah, I see there was Taekwondo. And Taekwondo is cool. That's not a fucking a fighting sport. I don't even know how do you even. I could kick higher than you. Okay,
I know. I practice Aikido.
Come on, dude.
I don't know a lot about Taekwondo. So I'll tell you, come at me one of them kicks, and I'll use it against your ass. I'll take your momentum and reverse that shit so fast on you.
Oh my god, dude, that's crazy! I didn't hear about that, man. I've been waiting.
I know. I was shocked too. Len told me. I say, shout out to Len, the Baltimore Ravens. You know him. You were there. He's the fucking Ravens fan that always breaks my fucking balls about the Eagles and Ravens.
Yep.
I do like he's a good ball breaker. Greg, you were there when he was there the other day.
Yeah.
Because I remember I told him to start arguing. I was like, Len, you're such a fucking asshole sometimes, and I think he felt bad. I'm like, I'm just joking, dude.
I do like how the surfing is in Tahiti because it's like a province of France or something like that.
Let me ask something. Didn't they have to stop a swimming event in France because it was so dirty recently?
Yeah.
The Seine. Yeah, they want them to do the triathlon. They want them to run, bike, and swim, right?
But didn't they say the river was too dirty?
Yeah, it's dirty. It's like swimming in the Delaware River. You know how old that Seine is? You know their bodies were probably dropped in there
for preparation for the Olympics.
Yeah, Delaware is much cleaner compared to that river.
Hey,
that river's old river, man. Like, dude, no. You did not want to swim in that river, dude.
They probably drop raw sewage into that.
By the way, not that it matters in the conversation, jamming out to Pink Floyd. Comfortably Numb, one of the greatest rock songs of all time, ever. Jamming out to it. One of the best rock songs of all time. There's no doubt about it. I'm just going to
put out the time frame here. We're at 106. But I feel pretty good if you guys want to stop.
I'm not worried about it. Do we need to read any commercials?
Yeah. Perfect timing for that. Perfect.
What do you think keeps the lights on? Ted, the commercials are our IPA that we brewed.
So we have Dubby is a organic energy drink.
I love it.
Doesn't no caffeine, doesn't give you the jitters. Very good. Big
I
game
appreciate
promo
that.
code. So if you like smoking cigars, who doesn't like smoking cigars? This is Puff Sip Chat. Promo code the same. Big game QR code there, and there you have it.
I think I have to say it every time you read this. I got fat bags of skunk. I got white owl blowns, and I'm about to go get lifted. Yes, I'm about to go get lifted. Oh, Method Man. Anytime you can give a shout out to Method Man on our show, please do. It's worth 25 bonus points.
Man. I have a spectacular beer next. And
I know. I felt bad. I was on beer for it too. I'm glad you are too.
Man, this is going to be
Where'd Greg go?
Doozy. It's probably re-upping, probably getting another beer.
Probably jerking off. What are you doing? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just fucking around.
So here we have it. This is the ultimate Oktoberfest.
Oh, is that Founders?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Look at that label. And let me tell you something. This is the ultimate Oktoberfest.
Yeah.
I was hesitated at first. I was not sure. But yes, sir. I'm sure now. So what I feel like this beer is, it's a backwoods bastard barrel or something.
Wow.
And then it's filled with a sweet, crisp Oktoberfest. Because you have that nice, clean lager taste, but you have a nice bourbon caramel back end. And it's amazing. It is amazing. So look for it. This is a Founders Ultimate Oktoberfest. If you like Oktoberfest, and if you like a high ABV, because guess what, guys? This is a 10% Oktoberfest.
Get the fuck out of here. That's 10%?
That's 10%.
What?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Wow, is that the strongest Oktoberfest ever made? Seriously, it probably is. That's Oktoberfest usually never goes above 6.5.
Yeah. So you see how it's like a clear body. It's got a nice head. It's like Oktoberfest. You get that like crisp, clean, fresh beer, but then you get that bourbon caramel back end.
Rare to see a lager beer at 10%. That's fucking astounding to me.
Bro.
Crazy.
Wow. Yeah. I bet it's good. It's 10%.
It's good, dude.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think in my life, 98% of all 10% beers I've had are fantastic. I can't believe they did it with a lager, though.
Such a good, you know how backwoods bastard is? It's got that, bourbon caramel taste in it.
I mean, does it remind you of, a Doppelbock?
It's just so good, dude.
Does it remind you of, a Troganator?
Yeah, like a Troganator. I would say like that. It's a nice thin Bock. You know what I mean? But dude, it's good, dude. It's amazing.
I'm going to pick it up on your recommendation.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Shout out to Raj. I bet he has it. Raj, my boy, Clayton Liquor. Have you ever had an Eisbach?
Mm-hmm.
What an interesting style.
Eisenbach.
Really good. Right? Eisbach. I'm German too. Yeah. Eisbach. But what an interesting style and really good, but really fucking strong.
I love the history of it.
Yeah, it's a great history of it.
I was drunk brewing beer, and I left my barrel beer outside, and it froze. And then what came out of it was just the alcohol.
It was even better. It was It was almost like making a reduction in the pan for Greg. I know cooker when you reduce something down.
So cool, Dan. So cool.
It really is. I'm telling you what, DeeTer, we should have an episode this year because you won't see it for a little bit, but where we each pick up an Eisbach, review it on the show, and drink it out throughout the show and watch us get fucking shit place obliterated like we are now, but off of one or two of these.
I have no clue how this is a 10%, man. This drinks like a Oktoberfest. It's so light.
That's scary.
You taste that bourbon back end, man. It's wild.
Is it a bourbon barrel?
Yeah, that's what it says. Oktoberfest bourbon.
Do you know what bourbon it was?
See if I can get it.
I don't know. Well, I don't know.
We can get it. Yeah, bourbon barrel right there. It says bourbon barrel. Bam! Yeah, look how clear that is. Look at that down there,
I
Ricky.
know. I'm saying.
Imperial German style.
I'm
Martin
saying.
aged in
Which bourbon though? Which bourbon?
I don't know. I would have to look it up, dude. But Founders has great barrels. Dude.
I love Founders and all their barrels and all their series. I'm curious about the beer. That is such a rare thing to see at 10% Oktoberfest. I'm fucking floored.
You know what it reminds me of? What was that beer? Old McGrudgeon or Old Grudge? What was it? Great Lakes, I think. Man, it had like the old couple on it, and it was like a bourbon barrel lager.
Yep, I can't remember what you're
Are you talking about Elliot Ness?
No, it was Old McGrudgeon. Something like that.
I don't know.
I'll look weird like that. Old Grudgeon. I don't know, man.
Old Curmudgeon from Founders?
Is that for Founders? I thought it was
of course I've had that in my bar many times. A great beer.
That's what this reminds me of.
Okay.
Old Curmudgeon. Is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah. I just want to say, I got a fourth beer too, which is rare, by the way. Just kidding, America. I know you see me drink 4 beers every week. This is called American IPA with Valley Malt from Massachusetts. It's way different than anything you'll ever get from Treehouse. It's such an homage to old school IPAs, but done Treehouse style. Like you'll still get that color.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Yeah, but do you remember though when we were drinking?
IPA?
You remember we were drinking IPAs? Like
stop it.
Right, like 7 years ago when you're just making the difference between West Coast and what they were started calling New England's. This almost takes place a beer that was at the beginning of that, and it's not a bad thing. Eddie Topper was one of them.
That thing is yellow, man. That thing is like.
Yes, but the malt backbone and some of the resin and IBU I'm getting on it is reminding me of the old school style. You're definitely getting to compare. Listen, leave it up to Treehouse to be able to pull this experiment off. I mean, these guys
I've been seeing a lot. We've been seeing. Well, I just gave you IPL, and I had an American IPA from another brewery. It's like starting to come back. You know what I mean? I don't understand why. It's not good.
Well, this is good. This doesn't remind me of an IPL. I'm not getting a lager body or smoothness or light flow that I get from a lager. This is definitely still an IPA, and it shows you it's an IPA, but it's like I'm old school. My IBUs are up, my resin levels are up, but I'm still giving you that softness and the mellowness, almost like you get in like.
It was Tonewood. Tonewood had a American Pale Ale or something like that. And
Tonewood's great, by the way. Shout out to Tonewood and Jake and Eli and the crew. Best brewery in South Jersey, and it ain't even close. I know Troon and Conclave are a little more than South.
I feel like New England IPA is like starting to get like a bad rap or something. Like everybody's like, "Oh, I drink lagers. I drink lagers."
That's fine.
Excuse me.
Oh, Jesus Christmas, sir.
Just talking about American lagers
IPA really put you off, sir.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Hey, anyway, I know we're going to get the lager crew is going to be hating on you big time for that one, kid. And that's everybody but me and you and fucking Dahmer.
Let them come at me. Let them come at me. I don't care. Like, what puts the fucking lights on, dude? What pays the bills?
Listen, you're preaching to the choir. I've been preaching it for 9 years.
Stouts and New England IPAs are going to line up your door.
Well,
you don't want to brew them.
Don't get me wrong. Hazy IPAs, fruited sours, and pastry stouts are what's in right now. But as someone who's been in the craft beer game for a long time now, it will change or it'll morph slightly into a slow process. But that's what's hot now. Hazy IPAs, fruited sours, and pastry stouts. It's the hot new toy when you're a 5-year-old in Toys R Us. Like, I want that. Well, they're the 3 things that are hot right now.
Yeah, I mean, I have friends that are like, I love lagers. But you know, when they make trips on their vacations, you know where they go?
Yeah.
The Treehouse. They go to Massachusetts, the Treehouse.
You ever wait in line? You ever wait in line for a lager?
No. No,
I haven't,
sir.
and I never, ever will.
Oh, is there any more sports we got to talk about? Like how about the Flyers?
Well, the Flyers are still status quo. Mitchkov's making his his stops around town. He's meeting the Phillies. He's meeting the Eagles and the Sixers. And listen, say whatever you want. I don't know what he's going to do. I like his pretend. I like what you see. Maybe is he the next in the city of the Bryce Harper, Joel Embiid / Jalen Hurts? Maybe, but guess what? That's the hope, guys. And if you think Danny Briere and Keith Jones aren't hoping that too, you're dead wrong. Because anybody, I don't want to call them the savior of the Flyers, but if you're not thinking about it, deep down that's what it has to be.
Yeah.
We love you, Mitch. I want to be talking about you in 3 years. Be like, yo, Matty M or Mitchie. Listen, we need you, kid. Save the franchise.
I think they brought in another Russian kid recently.
I think quietly and slowly you've been seeing them put a few more Russian people on the team for that reason, as they should have a long time ago. The prejudice against Russia only hurt them.
They had the goalie come in right before.
Yeah, you had Fedotov come in. Come in, and he's going to be the starter. And you had 2 Russian goalies came in, and then one said, "I don't want to play here. I'm going back to Russia in the KHL," which is like, wow, really? Wow. Yeah, and he was a pretty highly touted prospect. But you got Fedotov here, who's a really good goal, and you still have Sam Ersson. So you got a really good 1-2 punch at goalie for the Flyers.
I'm pretty happy with Mitchkov. Like, he threw out the first pitch in the Phillies game, rocking the fucking jersey and everything. Awesome.
If he's even slightly above what I'm hoping he'll be, this franchise is about to turn around real quick.
Yeah, I think so too.
Listen, I might be wrong. I've been wrong before, but man, you know me. I watch all sports all the time. I don't think I'm wrong. I think this kid's the real deal. And if I'm wrong, call me out on it 2 years from now, but I don't think I am.
Yeah,
my buddy Al, this kid's a player.
My buddy Al's a big hockey fan, and he said that this kid grew up being a Flyers fan. And
he grew up being the best player in every tournament he was in ever.
I get that. Okay. Well, I get kind of like
it's nice that he's a Flyers fan. Cool, but this kid has skills.
I get the kind of like the Brycey vibes. You know what I mean? I think like this kid is happy to be here, happy to be part of Philly, and that's what I fucking like. You know what I mean? Because push comes to shove, maybe your first year, your second year might not plan out the way you thought, but you know what? You stick with it. You stick with Philly, and you make yourself, stronger. I guess I don't know.
Here's what I'm saying is that's a good point. But I'd like that you like Philly, kid, and we like you. But I want you to take us to the next level. You have expectations, and I'm not saying that in a bad way. It's nice that you like Philly. I honestly don't care if you like Philly.
Too young of a team
save the franchise.
It's too young of a team to be like, hey, we're going to get the Stanley Cup.
But you've been saying that for the last 3 years. When are you not too young anymore?
No. Last year, you weren't even on board.
Last year,
you weren't even on board on this team until later.
No. Not what I said in October and November. There was a point where I said, yes, you're right. This team is a playoff team. I gave you credit. I said,
you said we need to do the program. We need to start losing last year.
No, DeeTer, it's all on videotape. I said that in October and November. But I said at one point, DeeTer, you're right. This team's a playoff team. And they were for 97% of the season. And then the fucking head coach played head games with the team. They said, fuck you, dude. I'm out, and they quit on him. So don't even give me that. This guy should have been fired. You didn't tell me people wanted to fire fucking Nick Sirianni, and you didn't want to fire this guy? Nick Sirianni made it to the fucking Super Bowl. A Super Bowl, 3 years, 3 playoffs. And this guy, you've missed the playoffs every year. You've been with the Flyers. Don't give me that shit. I said, damn right, I should have called it that way, and I won't back up on it.
We're going on a We're going on.
Chill, dude.
Just saying.
I think the coach is a good coach. I know it fell apart at the end of the year, But dude,
that's okay.
He's a strong coach, man, and I feel I feel like this is a more young blood into the team, and it's gonna go good, man.
They're gonna be decent this year.
Anything less than a playoff berth is a failure. I'm calling it right now, just like I did with the Eagles and Phillies win a championship. You don't expect this team to be a playoff team?
Playoffs last year.
To be 500, okay?
No. I'm not happy.
You were in the playoffs last year, and you gave it away.
Listen, Flyers, I hope make the playoffs, but I'm not expecting much more than the playoffs.
You're not expecting a playoff berth from this team with Mitchkov here?
I don't think
we should. We should, but I mean, it's his first year, man. Like, how old is the guy?
Dude, that's the problem. They need better players.
How old was Eric Lindros when he came in the league?
Well,
you tell me.
He was 18. Did they go in the playoffs? Yes. His first year and every year from there on in. That's what generational players do. And I think this kid is that. I'm not saying I hope he's Claude Giroux. Claude Giroux was a nice player, but he was not a generational talent. This kid is This is the next Sid Crosby. I'm telling you now. I'm calling it now. Give me respect 5 years from now when this kid's a superstar.
Where's the supporting cast, though? That's the problem.
What do you mean? The supporting cast was about to be in the playoffs for 97% of the season.
Turnover, man.
They gave up on them in the last month. This was a playoff team. This team probably would have won a round in the playoffs.
Listen, I'm not saying they're not going to make it, but
they should. Anything less than that is a failure. They should. Greg, how often do me and you talk about the old guard of, hey, let's shoot for 500 and maybe we'll have a nice season. Listen, I want to win championships. I don't care about that shit.
I'm not saying I'm done that, with man. It. I'm saying this is a young team.
I want playoff
like you
wins.
said at the end of the last season, they got a little button heads with the coach.
They quit on him. They quit on the fucking guy. It's not a maybe or a Rick rant.
So there's
it's
not
evident and it's clear. There was never a everybody around the country.
Hey man, we're going to the playoffs. It's not like, hey, we're going to the playoffs, dude. We have shit to work out, man. You know what I mean?
To work out?
Think that?
What are they working out?
Well, I guess you said yourself, the team quit on the coach, right?
Yes.
Same coach.
He started playing mind games. He's benching the captain. The guy's turned into an asshole. In the last month of the season, I think the guy's fucking crazy. And the team said, hey, Torts, fuck you. We're out. DeeTer, it was a monumental collapse. Look at the NHL history. It's one of the biggest collapses in regular season history in the NHL. And you're talking like 75 years.
Dude, you were saying, like, hey, man, let's quit. Let's lose.
You just missed it by 2 points. It was a monumental collapse. Let's stop pussyfooting around and not say people out.
How do you say at the beginning of the season?
You want to become great.
How do you say at the beginning of the season we should lose the whole fucking season?
Because
and then at the end of the season, we're almost at the playoffs.
I thought they weren't good enough and I want a better draft pick. But what is the same thing I said to you? I was like, come December, I was like, dude, I was wrong. This team's good enough to be in the playoffs. And listen, I'm not big enough to say I'm not. I'll call myself out when I'm wrong every time. I said, and look back, we have it videotaped. It's on here on our podcast. In December, I said, you know what? I think you're right. I think this is a playoff team. And they were for 97% of the season. And the fucking crazy mad scientist head coach decided to fucking play head games with this young team. And they said, fuck you. We're out. It was not just a collapse. It was monumental. One of the biggest collapses in NHL history for regular season. Look it up. Put the numbers in, dude. It wasn't just listen, people call for Nick Sirianni's head. Dude, John Tortorella should have been gone day one after the season was over. Should have been gone.
Nah.
Look at the numbers. Type it in. Nothing I said was wrong. Trust me when I tell you. The guy should have been gone. It was a monumental collapse. Monumental collapse.
How we feel about the Eagles?
I love the Eagles. They're going to win a Super Bowl this season. And the Phillies are going to win the World Series.
Like they got. They were. I was listening to part of the training camp coverage on.
So much of it, dude. The team's looking good, man.
Yeah, they said Goddard had 2 touchdown receptions and the 2 drives that the first team did.
Dude, I hope we see more of Goddard this year, man. I feel like he's always getting injured.
He loves to run that 2 tight end set. I think you're going to see him and Grant Calcaterra catching a lot of passes this year. He loves running that 12 set with 2 tight ends, dude.
Well,
it was pretty neat to see on the news, like the practice today. Like it was like loaded in the stadium, man.
There's 50,000 fans here for practice. Philadelphia's a dedicated fan base.
Yeah, from the second team offense was playing the second team defense. The defenses were holding their own, but the offenses were looking pretty good today, from what I heard.
Do you know what I really like from a lot of everything I've been reading about training camp is that Keely Ringo has been getting the majority of the snaps as cornerback number 2, and I love that. I don't know if anybody remembers when he got drafted out of Georgia from us last year in the 3rd round. I said, steal the draft. I said, this kid is a top 2 cornerback in this draft, and I think he's going to be your starting 2 cornerback this year when the season starts next to Darius Slay. That kid's a player, man. And on top of that, you got Quinyon Mitchell, who's the best cornerback in this year's draft. Slay's going to move on after this year, and you're going to go into next season with the single best cornerback duo in all of football, and it ain't even close.
Did you guys catch any of the game today, the Hall of Fame game? Did you guys catch?
I watched the whole half before I came in here with you guys.
Did you catch the whole kickoff thing? Like, how do you guys feel
weird.
about that?
A lot of penalties happening because it's going to take time to get used to.
Right. So there's like a time frame or whatever they can move or something like that?
And they can't move when the ball until it lands or something. It was weird, dude. It's going to take some getting used to. Why not just leave the original kickoff the fuck alone? You know what I mean?
Right, dude. Like,
what are you doing? You got guys like Mel Gray making Hall of Fame careers on kickoff returns and Eric Metcalf, and you're going to change the fucking rule. And now you're so confused with what the fuck you're doing. You're going in the XFL and you're taking over. Leave well enough alone from the beginning.
How many historic moments are built off of a kick return, right?
Kick returns are
how many?
Huge.
Like change of a game. You know what I mean? And now
it changed the momentum, and momentum's a real thing.
Right. And now they're even fucking with the onside kicks. Like there's
they took it out. You know, I posted on Rick Ranch 2 days ago. There's all kind of rules. Listen, just take the onside kick out then and make it a whole different thing. Like, hey, if you want an onside kick, you got to make a 4th and 25 or whatever it is from the 50. So that way there's still intrigue and you're not totally dead. But if you're going to so tax the onside kick, just take it the fuck out. Yeah. So you got to announce you're going to do it. So, you can't do it in the first half no more. It's like, well, what the fuck kind of retardation?
The whole thing is like a surprise. It's a whole surprise, and now you're making
remember the 0-1 Eagles against the Dallas Cowboys game? We started the game with David Akers kicking an onside kick, and it totally set the momentum for the game. We went on to blow out the Cowboys, by the way, that garbage-ass franchise, like 42-14 that day. It was called the Pickle Juice game. It was 110 degrees on the field, and the Cowboys are over there dying like a bunch of pussies, and the Eagles are over there drinking pickle juice and saying, let's go.
Oh, shit, man. I fucking remember that. That was awesome.
Yeah, the Pickle Juice game had a lot to do with the onside kick.
But those are memorable moments. You know what I mean? And you're taking it out of the game, NFL? Man.
Remember, it's just Meadowlands number 3. I mean, it was who was it?
That was a punt. That was Deshaun Jackson taking it off Steve Weatherford's punt when Tom Coughlin said, "Don't kick to him," and he kicked to him, and he caught it. And you know what made that punt return touchdown? And it's weird is the fact that Deshaun Jackson fumbled the punt when he first got it, and it totally threw the return team off. And they went like 10 yards past him, and he picked it back up. He was like, "Oh, okay," and he just fucking went. And I still remember, who, by the way, broke the team down today. Merrill Reese, I posted on Facebook, broke the team down, going in the Hall of Fame. I still remember his call. In that Giants. Remember, we were down 35-10 to the Giants in the fourth quarter with like 8 minutes left to go in the game. I was sitting in my boy Warren's house watching the game. It was so amazing that I remember where I was. December, I think 10th, like I think it was like 2011. Don't quote me. And we're watching it, and we're down. I'm like, this game's over. And then they just keep coming back. So we're down 37-10 with 7 minutes. The Eagles come back. And Tom Coughlin, I remember right before the punt, as it's tied up, about to go to overtime, Tom Coughlin says to Steve Weatherford, don't punt the ball to him. And Steve Weatherford did it. Deshaun dropped it. He fumbled. The defense went past him. And Merrill's like, 35-30, 45-40, 50. He's like, he's at the 20. He's like, he's going to go. He's going to go. I don't care if he jumps, he dies. He's going to go. Oh, dude, it was one of the greatest calls in Eagles history. Miracle in the Meadowlands 3. Leave the kicking game alone. DeeTer, remember the Patriots game where I pulled out the fucking Goonies quote?
Yes. And
Time.
It is an hour and 30 minutes. This is the longest show running.
Best podcast we've ever done.
Birds
Welcome to the show, Greg.
Greg, thank you so much for coming on the show.
No
Ricky, I know that me and you can talk sports all goddamn night. Dude.
Just remember,
but it eventually has to end. It has to end.
Down here, it's our time.
Love you, time. Love you, man.
Peace out,
Thank you, guys. Thank you for everybody to watch the show. Check us out, 10 p.m. Thursday, BGSE Network, YouTube channel. See you next week.
Time. Frodo Baggins, Bilbo, Shawnee
Y'all
Astin.
have a good night.